All right, let's dive in. We're going to start today with something that looks super simple, almost like a kid's drawing. But trust me, it's going to help us unpack a really powerful idea about art and freedom. And it all comes down to this one question. Okay, so think about it. When you draw a sun, what color is it? Yellow, right? Maybe orange? But what if it was pure white? Does that just feel kind of wrong to you? If it does, you're definitely not alone. But the source material we're looking at today, it has a very different and very strong opinion.
Yeah, this isn't just some friendly suggestion. It's more like a dare. It's throwing down the gauntlet, challenging a rule that most of us don't even realize we're following, a rule that's all about one thing, our expectation of realism.
So, let's get into it. Why does a white sun feel so weird? Well, it's because we've been taught, pretty much since we could hold a crayon, that good art is supposed to look like the real world.
Think back to when you were a kid. You get praise for drawing things that people can recognize, right? The tree is green, the sky is blue, the sun is yellow. And that idea, the idea that art has to be a perfect copy of reality, it just gets baked into our brains. It becomes this unwritten rule, like a default setting for what we think art should be.
And this right here, this lays out the whole battle perfectly. On one side, you've got the rule of realism. It's predictable, it's what's expected, it's safe. But on the other side, you have the artist's freedom, the freedom to express something, to challenge those rules. And our little white sun, it's sitting right in the middle of that fight.
So the source material doesn't just make an argument. Nah, it gets right in your face. It starts asking these simple but super deep questions that just completely take apart this whole idea of realism. I mean, it's so simple, right? Why not? But wow, is it powerful. Seriously, why can't a sun be white? Who made that rule? And when you think about it, you realize it's not a law of physics. It's just a habit. It's just what we've always done. And then it hits us with the next one. This one goes even deeper. It's basically asking, okay, so what? What's the big deal? Is anyone actually getting hurt by a white sun on a piece of paper? No, of course not. It just proves that our problem isn't logical. It's just that our expectations were broken.
And boom, here's the knockout punch. This question exposes the one big assumption we've been carrying this whole time, that the artist was trying to be realistic. But what if they weren't? What if the goal was something else entirely, like trying to show the feeling of blinding heat, or maybe a sense of emptiness, or maybe they just thought it looked cool?
This is exactly what happens when you try to force everything into the box of realism. It falls apart. It doesn't have the words to explain an expressive choice like this. As soon as an artist cares more about a feeling or an idea than just copying what they see, the rulebook of realism gets thrown out the window.
So you've probably figured it out by now. This was never really just about drawing a sun. That was the whole point. That simple drawing was just a way to get at a much, much bigger idea. It's kind of like a Trojan horse, sneaking in this huge philosophy about what art and really what all creativity is all about.
And there it is. The author just comes right out and says it. They're not trying to be mysterious here. They're telling us straight up, I used the white sun as a concrete example for this one huge idea. The whole point was to make us face it, head on. Art has no rules. That's it. That's the core idea of this whole thing. And look, I get it. That can sound a little chaotic, maybe even a little crazy at first. But what it's really about is complete and total creative freedom.
Now hold on. To be super clear, this doesn't mean that skill and practice don't matter. Of course they do. What it means is that the reason for making something, the artist's personal vision, that's what's most important. That's the final say. It's about putting your own expression first, instead of just following what someone else says is right.
Okay, so let's break that down. First off, art is about making you feel something, not just making you see something. Second, all those rules you learned in school, they're more like suggestions, not laws you have to follow. Third, and this is the big one, the artist's choice is what matters most. And that brings us right back to our sun. It isn't wrong, it's a decision. And really, that's the bottom line here. The only rule that truly matters is the freedom to create. And this isn't just for artists. It doesn't matter if you're a writer, a coder, an engineer, whatever. It's about giving yourself permission to do things differently, to trust your own vision, and not worry so much about what's supposed to be.
So when you get right down to it, the white sun was never really about the sun. It's a symbol. It's asking us to look at all the unwritten rules we follow in our own lives every single day and to ask those same three questions. Why not? What's really wrong with that? And was I just following a rule without even knowing why? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for checking out this explainer.